My name is Pamela Knight. I'm from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. My new CD that was released on March 4th, 2014 is called Beautifully Fearless. It was recorded live in Casablanca, and so the title is Beautifully Fearless, recorded live in Casablanca. It's my music, it's my story, it's music about me, how I feel in my journey from being a signed artist to being an unsigned artist to being an independent artist. I prefer being an independent because the burden of bringing everyone else's personality into a project to cover what they're saying out there about me was a lot. From the producers had a voice, the executive producer had a voice, the A&R had a voice, the marketing person, the television promotion person, the radio promotion, the choreographer, the stylist. They all had a voice in the project, which turned out to be like a schizophrenic voice, which wasn't my voice, 100% totally. I mean, when the fans hear me sing, yeah, they know that's my voice. They know that some of the songs I wrote, I didn't write them all for spite, but it was, I prefer to be independent, to have one voice, to have one identity, because that's what I can live with every day. I can live with that person every day. Yeah, and maybe my personality is a little bit big, but, you know, that's it. The last 5 years I've been in Morocco. And that's North Africa for everybody. Don't look at a map. That's Morocco is North Africa, and it's an Islamic country, but very open to foreign people, open to other cultures. A lot of intelligent people, a lot of engineers. So they're really kind of well versed. They travel a lot. The food is good in Morocco, and in Morocco they have a rich culture of music. I think that's all North Africa. Rich culture of music, education, good food, because it's like, okay, let's go Egypt, Tunisia, Morocco, Algeria, Mauritania. All of these countries, they're above the Sahara. They're not sub-Saharan Africa. They're not like traditional, what we would think, oh, Africa, like, you know, black people and things like that. They go a spectrum. They go from really light white people with green or light colored eyes to really dark people with, you know, everything. So that's Morocco. And Morocco is a nice place. It's a nice country. It's run by a king. They have a king. Like England, but we don't hear that much about their king, but he's a cool guy. And his country is fine. I always felt good in Morocco. I still feel good in Morocco. I do miss Germany. Germany is an incredible, incredible country because the German people love music. They love music, and they would prefer that you express it the way you feel. There are a lot of people who want to be creative, and there are a lot of people who feel a lot of things about music in Germany. But Germany, the people will come and sit and support music. They support art. Probably more than any other country that I know. They support it with their heart. The French, you know, first of all, I want to be, the reason I take my time to answer this question is because the French have a problem with Americans. So I don't want them to think when they see this, that this American has a problem with the French. All of Europe thinks that they know music because it's a part of their culture to study the arts. Germany included, every other country. But in France, I think they kind of got stuck somewhere. They love art. They come out. They want to support it. They do support it. But I think they could support their artists more. They could support just art in general for the overall growth, because that's the impression that you get of the French, that especially the Parisian, that they would support art of all kind. But I find that more truer in the Germans, and that's not to take anything from the French, but I think it's just their old image. Their old image is that, oh, we support the arts, we support the painters, we support the dancers, we support, but really they support their own ideal, And I think they could use an infusion, or just stop smothering the artists that are really good there, and allow them to grow without all the executive. Yes, of course, there's going to be that executive record label, toe the line mentality for commercial music. And I love commercial music because I'll rock out in a club like everybody else. But I think they need music to help the culture to grow out of their black phase. France is still in their black phase. Oh, we need to have our black and we throw our gray on, and darling, yes, but we are French. And the French have value, yes, but they aren't the only value in the world. And I think that they could use more music, more good music.
Oh.
Yes, I love film, I love acting, I love comedy, because comedy is a chance to just be away from music. Sometimes for me, music is really, really serious, and I need it to be a little bit funny. And I try to, but when you do comedy film, it's the whole thing. It's always this story that leads up to this funny thing, and I prefer to do that, and I need that. I think, and just for balance. Just for balance, I really do. Yes, it's so amazing that these two nations would have issue with each other, because they're mostly in the same. It's about we know these things, so now let's just make something commercial and let's just put it out there, and she has to look like this, and she has to sound like that, and she has to come from this, and you know, if she's singing a soul song, she has to come out of church or urban, you know, impoverished single parent home household, things like that, you know, the old cliche. And I think it's kind of like that with the French too. Like, they have to have a tragic life, you know, to be Edith Piaf, or, you know, someone like, oh, je suis malade, or something. You know, really. And America is the same way. When I come here, America, my city is Philadelphia. Philadelphia has, for me, hands down, the most talented musicians in the world, but they are stuck, really stuck in that. So stuck that they can't wrap their mind around creating their own thing and getting it out there to the rest of the world. It's that high artistic thinking, I think, that keeps them from getting into the mainstream and making their music mainstream, whereas people from rural Virginia can make a song and everybody's like this. Yeah! And we make a song, it's like, we came up with neo soul. That probably, I love neo soul, I love India Arie, I love Anthony Hamilton, but I think that Philadelphia could have come up with a more happier music. And yeah, that's my opinion. I'm not going to go into, because I don't like to down other artists. I don't like to down other styles of music because I have my opinion. I know they do. I know they do. Oh, that's not real singing. Oh, you know, they talk about commercial artists. Commercial artists for me are just as valid as gospel artists, or just as valid, or as any other artist, as a classical artist. Their music is important, more important, because they're reaching our masses, and art imitating life and life imitating art. So we need to be careful about that. So. The next 3 years is about a live music movement. I want to go around the entire world, especially in my country, to encourage people to do music live, because live has the energy that we need. I think that America has lost its creativity, or lost the hold on being creative. Not say that we owned it for the world, but we owned it for ourselves, and now we are bringing talent from everywhere else but here. So we don't value, maybe we don't value our talent. I really haven't researched it, but for me, for the next 3 years, is to bring music everywhere, to after school programs, coffee houses, nursing homes, everywhere, and so that people can just feel good about music and feel good to express themselves, to have their poetry, to say what they want to say without fear of someone shooting them down. Say what you want to say, because maybe in the forum we need to hear what you have to say. And I think artists, we don't get the gift for nothing. I think we get the gift because we should say it. So, yeah. Television. I love television. And I think with television, this will probably be where I will die with television. I love television. I'm sure I'll be a producer, writing shows for television, hopefully influencing the world with the stories that I create on television. It's important. It's important to just tell another side of the story. You know, we're still trying to tell Beaver Cleaver but make him funny, or we try to go too far being vulgar, or we need to just tell our normal story. What's wrong with normal? Why is reality just not reality? You know, what's wrong with normal? I think I love television. I have a couple ideas, like beside my bed I have a stack of notebooks with things written out about stories to tell, and so I'm gonna tell those stories, I think. Man, this is not a balancing act. This is a juggling act for Universal Circus. You know, like you doing splits while you juggling, you know, chainsaws. It's because family, they're people. We're talking about relationships, and everybody has their idea of what's happening in your life. It's very complicated. The only thing I can say is communicate as much as possible. Pray as often as you can, and just kind of let, you know, the universe take care of the things that you want. Because if you try to control everything, I think that's where you lose the joy, and you probably are going to miss a lot of things. I think you'll miss a lot of things if you try to control. So you should be careful what you say, be careful how people perceive your life. My father just told me something really important. He said, you know, you're trying to be humble for all the people who haven't arrived at their position yet. But the point is, you've done your work. And so you should kind of live on your level and let them see that your level isn't about money. It's about your art and your own personal growth and your own journey and your own development. It's not about being an example for them. They have to be an example for themselves. But you know how people always say, oh, she lived in Europe. Oh, and she's famous over there. And then they kind of impose this. Oh yeah, but she thinks she's something. Oh, yeah. And I mean, I drive. One guy told me I should go get a Bentley. I drive an Altima. I like my Altima. And when my Altima stops running, I'll get another car. You know, I mean, and it's. I like money. I mean, everybody. I like to go to the mall and shop, and I like the new iPhone or the new Samsung. But I think you have to do things in moderation, and you have to be able to control your life, because there are other people. There are other people who think that that's the only part of that life that there is. And while I'm not responsible for them, I am responsible for myself and the projection of myself. But my father was like, but you don't owe someone else an explanation for your own journey. The only person who needs to be keeping the journal is you. So, I mean, he said it a little bit more harder, but I just thought I'd just give you what he meant. He's like, that's what he said. Branding. Branding is the new key coin phrase, whatever you want to, the keyword. And to create your brand, you need to first ask yourself why you're doing something, because the why is so important. And when you find yourself not making any money at it, you need to know why you started out with it in the first place. And it kind of keeps you going, because you say it's important. Usually why we do something should be important, even if it's for money to buy your mom a house. or to let other people know what's going on in your area. Or so you need to get on the internet. Social media is important. You need to be out. You need to be in the physical world. You need to know what's happening in your community and around the world, so that when you speak, you know from whence you speak. What's cometh that speech? You need to know what you're talking about. And granted, you know, when you say what you know, what you're talking about, it can change in 2 seconds. But branding. Take good photos of yourself. Lots of video. Reach out to radio, internet. Build good relationships. Build good relationships. Because relationships are what run this world. So build good relationships. Try to stay relevant. And when I say relevant, I don't mean like take all your clothes off and throw them, you know, and show your whole body. I mean, your music should still tell the story of where you are. Because sometimes when we become successful, we move out of our old neighborhood a little bit, and kind of those people like, oh, you're not keeping it real anymore. It's real for where I am. And I think that's, we should show growth. Growth, like, all right, I'm in this set of people now, and I want to tell you what these people are talking about. Before I was with these people, and this is what we talked about, and now I'm with this group, and I still have some of my people who traveling with me, because, you know, especially in the black community, we have this thing about keeping it real. But if we really keep it real, when you're moving and you're traveling your journey, the people change, the faces change, the names change, the sponsors change, you know. If you're lucky, you get to keep some of those people and take them on a journey too. It's nice to have your friends on a trip. You know, get on that bus with you, on that tour bus, and go with you. It's nice to take them with you, but you can't take everybody everywhere. Another thing my dad told me, you can't take everybody everywhere. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure. Project is Beautifully Fearless, 2014. Beautifully Fearless, recorded live in Casablanca, Morocco. Go out and get the album. It's amazing. The music is great. It has a great energy, feeling. The musicians are from Ivory Coast, Morocco, America. Yes, Morocco and Ivory Coast and America. So 3 nations, because there are a lot of Ivorians in Morocco, and they are amazing musicians, just like the Moroccans, just like the Americans. So yeah, that's the album. Go out and get it. And support music.